edition of Ekiti Speaks here, and I'm glad that you're there again. I'm glad to be back. You know that we always bring guests, we interview them, and we get to hear their positions on current trending issues. As you know, my name is Femi Odere. They call me Nigeria, and I'm excited that I have this opportunity to be able to share with you again. I have a guest with me here in the studio. He is a veteran, he is a June 12 advocate, he is the SSA Diaspora Affairs to the State Governor, John Friday. Mr. Femi Odere here in the studio. A very good morning. Yes, okay, so we're going to start off. There's a lot of debate around the June 12. Recently we had a June 12 celebration. A lot of Nigerians seem to have been caught between May 29 Declaration of Democracy Day and of course June 12. What position, where exactly do you stand in this?
Well, thanks for inviting me to the studio to talk about June 12. June 12 has always been what you can call a current decimal, in the history of Nigeria since it happened on June 12, 1993. And it never gave me, it never went away. And despite the fact that a lot of people are wishing it to just go away. As you know, it was all about the cancellation of an election, the presidential election, that was adjudged to have been the freest, that was adjudged to have been the fairest and the most transparent in the history of electioneering in Nigeria. And the person that won that presidential election then was Femi Odere. So that was actually what triggered the struggle, because it was like a spontaneous kind of, for lack of a word, upheaval, among the Nigerian people, both the low cadre and the high echelon of people in society, that could not stand, and that could not stand. And they just went out, all out to make sure that the mandate of Femi Odere was restored. But unfortunately, that mandate was not restored because he died in the process. As they say, there are several ways to skin a cat. So the mandate was kind of restored posthumously, with what we are witnessing now, which is the validation of June 12 as democracy day, and the naming of a stadium, after him, as well as giving him the highest, presidential honor. So, it's like in a roundabout way, that his name will never be forgotten.
All right, so I would like to know, Mr. Femi Odere, your position on this. A lot of people, like I said, May 29, the handing over from the military era to the democratic or civilian era, and which was dubbed as Democracy Day before, and now we have a change from the Buhari-led administration recognizing June 12 as Democracy Day. Looking at the significance, that's I would like to know. You as a key player in the June 12 struggle, what would be your position? Do you think that it's best that June 12 be named Democracy Day or May 29?
Before I go into that, let me correct this impression that yes, I play my own role, but I wouldn't consider myself a key player, because if you call me a key player, then what would you call somebody like His Excellency, Dr. John Friday, and what would you call people like Wale Soyinka, and what would you call people like Bola? Those to me are the key players. I was pretty much the periphery, if you will, of the struggle, in the sense that I was in the US then, I was in Chicago, after I found and all of that. I was publishing a newspaper, that was targeted towards the African American and Nigerian community in Chicago. So it was that I used my newspaper, as a publisher, to articulate the struggle and to advance, the struggle in the diaspora, So that was the role that I played, just to educate people and to galvanize them, if you will, through, article writing and all of that.
Okay.
So that was the role I played.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's clear. But
Yes, and your question.
The question.
Yeah, the question about whether or not May 29 should have been left alone as opposed to June 12. You see, May 29 shouldn't have happened in the first place. It was an arbitrary date, chosen by the enemies of June 12, chosen by the people that actually truncated, the freest election in the history of this country. So it was, like I said, the tail should not wag the dog. So May 29 shouldn't have happened. June 12 did not happen. Because we're talking about democracy. That was the very first time after a long, military, regime of this country that they decided to go back to the barracks and let democracy reign. So that was what, June 12 was all about. So May 29 shouldn't have happened in the first place. And that had always been our protest, most especially from the southwest region of this country, that we didn't recognize June 12. If you recall, all this time that the federal government would declare public holiday on May 29 and all of that, the governments of Southwest would declare June 12 as their own public holiday. So this has always been going on, since 1993. So May 29 was an arbitrary, as I said, it was an aberration. Let's put it that way. It shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Okay, so let's take a deeper dive into the June 12 celebration this year. Key players were absent. Key players like the former military president, Major General Babangida, retired. We had former President Olusegun Obasanjo also absent at that. We also had the former President Goodluck Jonathan and some elder stakeholders in the country absent at this June 12 Democracy Day celebration. What input does that add? Do you think that has on the image of the celebration or the celebration itself or the acceptance of this day or the pronouncement, June 12, Democracy Day?
Well, they ought to have accepted themselves to begin with, because they are the ones that did not want June 12 to happen.
So and how sure are we about this?
Because the history there. Let's take, for instance, General Salam, as you mentioned. He was the one that proclaimed May 29 as a democracy. Despite the fact that all the evidences were there, for that shouldn't have been the case in the first place. So he had the power to make June 12 since 1999. When he handed over to the civilian government to make June 12 the democracy day. He didn't do that, right?
Yes.
So Obasanjo was there for 80 years, since 1999 to I think 2003 or whatever, 2007. He had the power to change history based on truth about the June 12 struggle. He didn't do that, And all these other people that you said that were absent, IBB was there. He was the one that announced the election.
Yes.
That didn't let the election up. So their conscience would not have allowed them to be present because it was glaringly clear that this was something that they resisted for so long, and now it happened. So why would they want to be there?
All right, a quick one still on the June 12th matter. Southwest, are we supposed to be excited, or is this some form of political gimmick to just bring in the Southwest into the political picture, bearing in mind that the declaration came under a government that is perceived to be a bit harsh to the Southwest?
Well, if you're talking about this present development, I wouldn't say that this government is harsh.
Or maybe the right word would be maybe favors the North more than every other region. It's perceived.
Well, yeah, I think you know, you use the word perceive.
Yes.
That's just a perception, and sometimes yes, perception can be people's reality.
Yeah.
And again, perception can just be that perception that didn't have anything to do, you know, with reality. But if you really take a good look at the composition of the government, I would say this is the very first time that the Southwest, the progressive, you know, element of the Southwest political spectrum, are actually at the center stage, and it had never happened before, not even during Obasanjo, who happens to be from the Southwest, the conservative, you have the conservative,
Yes.
Southwest political spectrum, and you have the progressives, and all of that. So this is the very first time, more so since the Civil War, that the Southwest, became a big and major partner in the political process and the governance of this country. So I think to me it's a plus, for us.
All
It's a
right.
plus.
All right. In case you're just joining, it's it speaks here on this blog and on this website www.biodonaprojani.com. My name is Femi Odere, and I have a huge guest with me here, the SSA Diaspora Affairs to the Governor of the State, John Kaide Femi, Mr. Femi Odere. Now let's come to diaspora engagement. No doubt, a lot of time and time again, we've had stories of Nigerians in diaspora wanting to engage the government, wanting to come back home and invest. What exactly is the plan coming down to Ekiti to also have Ekitis in the diaspora come to invest in the state?
Well, the plan is very simple. It is to not only create the awareness among the diasporans that they are partner, a very critical partner in the development of the state. It is also our own view that the huge resource pool of these people, and it is huge, and I can give you statistics later on, that the government of His Excellency Dr. John Kaide Femi is really serious about engaging them, because over the years, government have always been very lackadaisical. They pay lip service, to the people in the diaspora and all of that, because governments are pretty much focused on the oil money, so to speak.
Yes.
But here you have another set of resource that actually supersedes the oil revenue, and they just it's just laying there. And not only that, you have a set of people that are actually yearning to give back, to play a major role in the development of their state. So you think that it would be nonsensical for any government not to tap into that, because we've seen history of developed countries over the years, Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and all these European countries that we are all running to live. They tap into the resources of their own diasporas when they were developing. So why not? Why can't we do that? So the point now is that if the federal government is still dragging its feet in tapping the resources of the people, we as a state government, are ready and willing to tap the resources of our people.
In that line, I want to ask, looking at the statistics of diaspora engagement and investment, I think the data released that close to about 100 billion naira was actually spent over last year, sent home by Nigerians in diaspora, which means that there's a whole lot of resources in that pool that we might be looking at. But another question would be, is Ekiti State safe for diaspora engagement in terms of business, investment, engagement with youth, infrastructure development, and all? Is Ekiti State safe for that?
Well, let me first of all, correct that figure. the 2018
2018.
remittances from the diaspora, Nigerian diaspora, was actually $25.1 billion. We're not talking about naira, we're talking about dollar. So that's a huge amount of money, no matter where you look at it. No matter who's standard, or even in the international side, that's a huge amount of money. That a group is small, probably not up to 1 million people, who are able to send home, and all that. So that's that. But your second question as to whether equity is safe, how do you define safe?
Well, we've had times when people in diaspora have engaged. For instance, stories that someone probably in the UK wants to buy a land here, and then sends it home, and then they send in fake pictures of the land, and then the person is duped. Somebody tries to start a business here, maybe farming or agriculture, sends money home through people that are trusted in code, and then the person is duped. I want to know if it's safe. If it's safe from you because that's your portfolio, then what are the plans to show? Because a lot of them will be watching now, and they want to know, how do I then don't get duped anymore, for those who probably are falling victim, or those who have interest but they don't want to fall victim. If there's a structure that perfectly integrates these individuals, maybe there is a parastatal or ministry or something that they can get through and say, hey, I have this million, this social number of millions, I want to be able to put it into housing units, but I want it to go through a structure, I don't want to go through my family members and all. That's why I'm asking if it's safe, and what's the structure around it?
Okay, I think that is a very important question actually. But before I go into that, I want to also say that my office of Diaspora Affairs, I'm putting policies and programs together that will address that issue that you raised. But I would say that there's really nothing government can do if a diaspora entity decides to deal with a private entity, that's like a brother or sister or maybe a friend, to help him or her oversee some projects, for him or something. There's really nothing we can do about that, but in order to mitigate, in order to kind of reduce the level of fraud and or whatnot, when people try to engage in some form of investment, here in the state, we will at some point in time, make it, known to them that because we are serious about getting them engaged to create wealth, for our youth and to create employment, for people of the state. If they want to do anything that involves investment, money, and all of that, it would be to their own advantage to let us know, to let my office know, so that even if at the end of the day they still want to deal with, private individuals and all of that, at least my office can monitor it for them, and give advices, that look, if you are using this contractor, this is the profile of this contractor. He has done some showy work before, he has duped some people before, and all of that. So we give information like that, so that they will have second thought. And if they're good too, we'll let them know that, yeah, this man is good. If he's the one that you want to build your house, you want to clear your, your good, whatever. So by that, there will be trust. And even the people that will be handling these investment portfolios over here in Nigeria too, once they know that government at some level is involved in making sure that the people giving them whatever they are giving them is interested in what they're doing, they will be cautious. They won't want to to do anything untoward too, because they know that we can we can frown on that. So to me, I think those kind of things are going to eventually, come on board and unveil as time goes on.
All right. But before I let you go, I'd like to know you a bit deeper. I would like to know who is Mr. Femi Odere? Where did you grow up? Where did you school? What do you like to do for fun?
Well, Mr. Femi Odere is Mr. Femi Odere. Just like anybody. Yeah, just like anybody else. I was just like anybody else. I actually finished my secondary school at grammar school, and then I worked, for some time in Lagos at the Fund National Bank of Nigeria. Why didn't one National Bank was in
I don't think so.
And after which I traveled to the United States, where I went to school. I studied economics, political science, at the United States University. So after I graduated from university in the US, and I started working. So I worked. So I spent close to like 41 years in the US before I came back.
And now you're back in the States, you're doing well. Your family around here?
Well, I have two sons. My sons are grown up. But one is already working, he has graduated from college, and the other one is still in university. So they are over there, and their mom is over there. So,
what do you do to unwind, read, go party, relax, read newspapers? What exactly sing? Maybe a jazz night? What do you do to unwind?
Well, I see myself, I don't want to call myself old, but I'm old. Not to dance or anything. If there's a party, I go to party. And one thing I hate when I decide to go to a party, and that seems to be the norm here, is that people will go to party and they just sit down, for the rest of the duration, just eat and drink, and they won't dance. So to me, I'm like, why are you at a party?
If you're unwind,
you are supposed to go there and unwind, So when I go to a party, I dance, and some people will go, so it's like I didn't dance like this, But it's not so much about, it's just to unwind, just to have fun. Because going to parties is to have fun. I never like the idea of just sitting around for 2, 3, 4 hours, and then just go back home. And to me, you really have to have fun. So I do that.
That's true. Okay. And then you were in charge of Diaspora. Your party short, I'd like you to direct your party short to the diasporans watching right now. What would be that statement for them to reassure them that it's safe to commit their resources to Nigeria, not just in Nigeria, Ekiti State, ready to engage, ready to do business, and what are the plans now exactly they can reach your office?
Thank you. Well, my final statement for this episode of your show is that I want Ekiti indigenes in diaspora to know that they have a government that is very serious, that takes them very seriously, and we have a governor whose word is a bond. If the governor says this is what I'm going to do, that's what he's going to do. And one thing that I know, because I've had experience too as a diaspora myself, is that there has been over time lack of trust, between the people and their governments. I think one of the key things that Governor Femi has is trust and integrity, and that can be verified everywhere. So you have a government that you can do business with, and not only that, you have a government that takes you very serious because you have that potential, you have that resource, you have everything that it takes to develop this state and take this state to the next level.
All right, thank you so much. And that will be the wrap on this edition of Ekiti Speaks. Here, a huge thanks to the SSA Media, Abiodun. Of course, he is the owner of the TV channel you're watching. Don't forget that you can also subscribe at www.abiodunagorishade.com. My name is Ayodele Akonde. You can call me one Nigeria. Don't forget that if you do not move it, it will not move. Have a fantastic month of June. Bye-bye.